to Winchester Mystery House speed build. And apparently I'm feeling quite tuneful today, so I apologise if your ears are now bleeding. So guys, this is obviously Winchester Mystery House, as I've already said, and this build, it definitely got the better of me, but once I got that first floor done, I got into the flow of it, and it actually came up quite quickly, and it came together really nicely in the end. But I had a big problem with finding a picture of the whole thing that sort of would go together so I could figure out what went where. There were lots of pictures with lots of details, but they would only show like one corner of the many millions of corners that are in this build. So ultimately, that was the biggest problem I had, was finding the pictures and making sure I got it right. But in the end, I found a model that was created, and I used the pictures from this. I could see it from a few different angles. Unfortunately, there is one side that was a complete sort of interpretation of what hopefully it could look like. And from there, I kind of just went and zoomed in on all of these sort of model and kind of just zoomed in. Guys, I zoomed in to the point it was so pixelated, and tried to figure out the shapes. Once I figured out the shapes, it was a lot better. And as I said, once I got that first floor into place, the rest just sort of came together so nicely and quickly. It was a breeze. So guys, you ever have trouble with a build, just, it's okay if you to give up and go somewhere else. It's all good. But if you persevere, there's going to be so much reward in that. Just don't give up, guys. You need help, just ask for help. Nobody minds. We're all here to support each other. I'll happily help anybody. But this build, it really was one that drove me crazy. It absolutely drove me insane. So as you can see, we're already onto the roofing. So I've kind of got 2 floors here. There's actually meant to be 3, but because of the floor restriction, I kind of got rid of the middle floor. But then from here, we actually do use more floors as we build up. Some of it's hidden in the roofing, and other parts are sort of sticking out a bit later on back onto the main area, which we've literally just moved onto, which is good timing, really good timing. So from here, I kind of switched into night mode a few times, if I'm honest. I don't know why. I was getting really confused at trying to put the roofs on. And so basically what was happening, I couldn't see the arrows. So I was like, what's going on? Am I going blind? So yeah, I do switch quite often in this video, unfortunately. But it's only for little bits. And as you can see, I actually managed to do quite a lot of the roofing anyway. So when it comes to the roofing, I got most of it that I believe is there, that's meant to be there. There's lots of glass little areas as well. I'm pretty sure there are a few bits that aren't quite right, but it is what it is, and I'm really happy with it. I've not had a build this challenging before in quite a while, and once I got the roof on, I was just like, oh my gosh, this actually happened. This worked, guys. How did this work? Something worked. And yeah, as much as I emphasize that, you wouldn't believe how much trouble it was just trying to figure out some simple bits. So I even added the little extra bit on the side there as well. Absolutely loved doing these glass bits here. I kind of made this into a sort of greenhouse area. Not entirely sure if that's what it's meant to be, but for these glass windows, I put in, they're not windows, they're roofs, I put in the roofs, but then I used the debug tool, and that brings up the little extra bits in fences that you usually put on top of the half walls. So that brought them up, and then I also placed them around the outside as well. So as you can see here, I'm using a lot of green. Ultimately, they don't stay green. I was a little bit confused. So on the model, there was lots of different colours going on, and everything that I do green to start with is green on the model, as well as with the yellow. Some of it actually was yellow, so that had to be changed back again. But so there's lots of green. That's how it was on the model. I didn't really think about this. I just went crazy. I was like, I'm actually getting somewhere. Let's get decorating. This is what I really like to do. And then when I got to sort of trying to get a little bit more detail in searching for some more pictures, that's when I realised actually I have done the wrong colour. I have gone through all of this and it's not meant to be green, guys. It's like a brown. It really is. So then I was a little bit frustrated. You can imagine doing all this decoration and me not kind of using my brain and thinking, yeah, let's just decorate. There I go with the tunes again. I apologise. So anyway, apparently I am weirdly singing today and I apologise for that. So as you can see, we've now actually gone on to the 3rd and 4th floor. We kind of built that up and we're adding in the windows and more exterior. And as I've already said, yet again, because I like to repeat myself, it's all green. And I'm looking at it and I can just feel that frustration coming back. Like, how did you do that? Why? I love doing all the roof decoration. To be honest, it's not something I usually enjoy, but there's so much roof in here, it took away that sort of ghastliness and just being like, hey, I'm a roof. And being like, oh my gosh, there's just so much of it and so much of the colour. I didn't know what was going on. So I added all the decoration on the roof. And like I said, normally find it frustrating, but it really changed the look of it and it just took it away from all that orange, to be fair. So I tried to do a lot of changes here. I had a big problem, like a really big problem, as you can see, with raising. It took me absolutely hours to figure out how to raise it. I tried from different places and different angles, and then I gave up for a little while. And I was like, that's all right, we'll just come back to it. You'll fix it. Maybe there's something on the internet to tell you that there's a glitch or something. It's going to be okay. So I do come back to it in a little while. And I got frustrated with it again. And then I realised that I was an absolute plum. Like a complete and utter plum. I wasn't just like one of those little mistakes. It was one of those, well, how did you not think of that? Are you really that silly? And I'm like, yes, I am. So basically, guys, what I done was, so we've got the extra bits that are coming out of the roofs, the little buildings, and they come out from the roof as a bit of decoration. And what I done was that wasn't connected to the floor below, so I got rid of the floor that connected it, and so I basically just had this floating. And therefore, because it wasn't connected, it was seen as an object in the way and a different level. So it was just like, you can't do it. You just can't lift it up. And it took me a long time to figure this out. Hopefully I will not make that mistake again. But if I do, maybe I can be like, wait, let's go back to my video because I think I remember this. Probably won't. This is me. I just don't remember things. So as you can see, I started trying to lift it up again and we replaced it. Like, come on, I can fix this. And still absolutely having no clue. So there are quite a few times where I'm just like, just pick it up and change it. So here we go. This little part, it was, guys, it makes me so really, I was getting so frustrated trying to like watch the video and be like, oh my gosh, just pick it up. Oh, calm down. Right. So anyway, it was quite quick, but as you can see, I did manage to raise it. And it was a small part on the top of the build that just wasn't connected to the floor below. So we're going in with a lot more decoration again, still at this point going all green. And I actually, honestly, I really enjoyed doing the green. I was like, yes, I actually enjoy this colour. I've got a reason to use all of these green objects from the Strangerville pack. And I haven't had a chance to use them in that colour. It's always been quite neutral colours. And then to have to change them. But I really did absolutely like it in the green. But it just wasn't right. So that frustrated me and I had enough. And I was like, no, I've got to change it. It just, being a perfectionist sometimes, it's difficult. Because I'm in love with something and I'm like, yes, it looks so good. And then to have to turn around and be like, but that's not what it actually looks like now, is it? So sort it out. So here we just dug a giant hole all the way through, trying to make it level. So it turned out that this area here, it actually has a roof sort of in the middle, a couple of floors down, and I managed to put the roof in. And I'd done that by basically, so the same way with fountains, if you want to put an indoor fountain in, you can do it the same way. So what you do is you open it up to the outside, so you get rid of your wall, etc. You only need like one little bit of the wall to go, in all honesty. And then, so it'll detect it as the outside, and then you can put your roof in, or even your fountain, if that's what you would like to do. And then from there, with the roof, I put a little fence around the roof, and then that allowed me to create like a little alleyway using the foundation just to add a pathway into it. And then you could just seal it up, and it's all done. I will do a tutorial on this. I have decided to get this video out first, and then I'll get a quick tutorial out as well, because this is something that I found frustrating for a long time. I always wanted to put my fountains inside, and I couldn't, to be honest, until it was this build. I hadn't even thought about changing, like putting roofs inside. That wasn't something that crossed my mind at all. But I actually love the idea, especially if it gets like sunlight straight into that like other part of the building. It's a lovely idea. So we've now got the base of the build done, and this is where we go all crazy, and I kind of just watching it, I love the way it came out. You can see it's so much nicer. If you've got all of that brown, it stands out so nice, and so does the green. And I don't know which way I prefer it, in all honesty. So if you guys prefer it with the green, and just because it's a little bit different, or for whatever reason, rather than the brown, then go ahead. But the brown, it really does make it stand out. It comes out especially on that green floor at the bottom as well. So the next problem we had after looking at the actual pictures was I couldn't decide what colour the bottom part actually was. Like, is it green? Is it brown? Is it like a bright green? Is it a dark green? I don't know. There are so many different colour greens. So I stuck with this sort of dark sort of, I was about to say camo green. It kind of reminds me of one of the greens when you get in your like little camouflage clothes. But ultimately, I have no idea how to describe it. The first green was too bright. This one's a little bit darker, a little bit dingier. And it suits the build a lot better. So finally, on with some garden decoration. This was like my little outlet. I was like, I am not doing the interior yet, guys. I just couldn't bring myself to it. And then obviously when I found this out, I was like, I don't mind hedges. We can go crazy with the hedges a little bit. That look good. It's how it is anyway. So we'll add loads of hedges and then go a little bit crazy with all the flowers, because this is me. I love flowers. I love doing a little landscaping and just literally going as random as I possibly can in some areas with the flowers. So that was changed a lot. I moved it down. It turns out that as much as there are stairs, that this front little porch actually doesn't have much of a foundation. So then it sort of moved everything down again. That was a little bit like, after all that time trying to sort out the foundation, and there's practically isn't one. That was a little bit disheartening, but I was like, well, at least I fixed it. I learned from this. And if I hadn't learned from it, then to be honest, I don't think I would have got that far. I've been like, I can't raise it. I've had enough. I'm done. And then me being me, a few weeks later, I'm like, actually, let's start again. So this is the exterior. Kind of keep waffling on today because this build has been like a crazy adventure, and that is putting it nicely. It's putting it really nicely, in all honesty. So we've kind of got all the basics down, and Guys, I just love watching the garden, so I might just sort of sit here and zone out and be like, yay, it's so mesmerizing and pretty. This little area here, I kind of added little beehives up. To me, I didn't have a clue what it was. It was on the pictures and I wanted to add it, and I was like, I don't know what this is. Like, it's just like a little extra building. What do I do with it? So ultimately, I was like, I don't know, I could just put some little beehives in there and kind of like make it a extra big beehive for the bees, because yeah, that's kind of what it looked like to me, a beehive. That's basically what I'm getting at. So this little bit here, you've got the little door on the outside that does correspond with a picture that is of the build, and ultimately it doesn't lead anywhere, but that was the point. I loved the whole idea of having rooms that didn't lead anywhere, little secret alcoves, and this was an important part of the feature for the exterior and the interior. So I added the stairs, and then I decided to also add the random door. Obviously I had to use BB move objects for that, but it came out really well. To be honest, I love the little quirky bits in this build. So I've added a few sort of rooms that look like they could be hidden, and I've also added like a room that could only be accessed by the pets using a little pet door. And that really was one of the main things about it, that I just fell in love with this build. It was amazing, guys. I am getting confused as per usual. So this is the little room, just that little tiny bit under the stairs, and I fell in love with the idea. So as you can see, I finally got onto the interior. Over the stairs I went big and I went crazy because there's a lot of space to fill. And in all honesty, that was the main reason. I was like, there's so much space, let's just go really out there with the stairs and see what happens. So with the flooring here, I kind of went a little bit crazy, but it came out amazingly. I've only done this once before, where I've used the black and white marble to then kind of create the squared diamond effect on the floor. And then me being me, I just didn't want to stop, and I kind of played with ideas. You can see, like, trying to really draw forward the front of the stairs there with some of the mats, carpets, things from Get Famous. And then I ended up sort of thinking about doing really tiny ones, as you can see, just going crazy there on all the black squares. And I absolutely love how it came out. I'm not normally one for all this sort of like, I am for like the, I'm not normally a person for all these sort of like little rich details that make it look all posh. I kind of don't necessarily think about that, but this definitely is something I'm going to do again. I absolutely love it. It kind of gives it kind of like a little sort of royal effect, like, this is my main hall, welcome, you are now in my territory. So I went with the grand staircase just because there's lots of rooms and I have absolutely no idea what belonged where. So I thought, let's just make it big and grand and in your face. And then I added all of these sort of design ideas on the flooring, so they kind of give the sort of slightly more rural, posh, rural? No, what is wrong with me? A slightly kind of just more decorative. Let's just say, look, we just wanted to make it more decorative. And then we added some carpets around the outside by carpets, mats, rugs, whichever you want to call them. I have lost my words as per usual. Just to define it a little bit more as well. But unfortunately, because of the corners, I couldn't do that. And I believe I actually ended up trying again, obviously. So I tried to add a little centerpiece into the stairs because I kind of connected them together so they made a lovely diamond shape. This happened by accident just as I was playing around with the stairs, and I was like, I really like that, I want to make it a feature. And then just added a lot of decoration, not trying to go over the top, especially with the flooring it where it was, and kind of moving on to the rest of the build. I knew what I wanted to do with this room, so it was nice and simple to do. Obviously it's a library and we've got a fireplace and all the basics for a library. And from here, for the interior, unfortunately, I only managed to fully recreate 2 rooms. So this would be the ballroom, and also there's a room where you have all of the glass surrounding it, and it's like a lovely mint colour, and then there's also a glass roof in there that comes out as well. So I managed to create that too, but ultimately the rest of it is kind of completely of my own sort of design. And there are quite a few bits that that inspired me with the build. They're not necessarily in the right place, I didn't have a floor plan. I mean, imagine if I did have a floor plan, like it has something like 40 bedrooms and 40 staircases. I mean, it would have been amazing to build, it really would have. So if I had a floor plan, it's like 160 rooms and 40 bedrooms and like 40 staircases, and that would be absolutely incredible to recreate. Also be absolutely crazy. I think by the time I got around to doing the bedrooms, I would be like, people can just fill in the blanks. So this is a room that I was able to recreate. I started by doing these first, just to try and make them as good as I could. This is obviously in the right location. I was happy that I could figure out where the location of this room is. That was probably one of the best parts of it, that I was like, wait, I know exactly where this room belongs. And because of that lack of floor plan, which I'm actually quite grateful for, to be honest, that would have been extensive. That would have been absolutely crazy to do. Would have been fun as well. I mean, I believe it also has like 2 basements actually in Winchester House as well. I didn't put any basements on, and this was a big build as it was. So I tried to stick with the theme there, and as you can see here, we're kind of creating some alcoves, and this is my recreation of the ballroom. So this is where I decided to put it. I put it here because it had the biggest space that I could kind of create around it with these alcoves. They were in, obviously they are in the ballroom, and then from there I kind of had lots of extra space, as you can see, around the outside. So I added doors into the alcoves to try and just develop on that, just to develop on the idea of having lots of sort of secret rooms, and just kind of trying to add a little bit of mystery into the mystery house. I felt so cool saying that, and I really genuinely did, guys. So I tried to add a little bit more detail onto the fireplace, tried to replicate what was there. And with the alcoves, tried to keep them quite simple. As you can see, we've got the doorways in places now as well. In place. I know what I want to say, guys, and I'm pretty sure I say this every video. My life is confused and my head works faster than I can talk. So it's very simple, the ballroom. It's a big space. For it to be so big and have nothing there, it agitated me, just that point that actually there's such a lot of space and I am not feeling like I'm using it properly. So this is one of the little alcoves. It leads into a little bar area. I absolutely love this idea, like a little secret bar. You know, people are like, wait, I've finished dancing, let's go sneak over here and nobody will find us, and maybe we can like snuggle in the corner. But yes, I'm just smiling like an idiot, nothing unusual there. So then kind of started with decorate, not entirely sure at this point what I was going to do with the rest of the alcoves, especially with some of the weird shapes to it. So we've added in a bathroom. I've actually added 2 bathrooms near here, one that's by the entrance and another one that sort of sneaks in by the alcoves as well. And then I believe one what was it? Guys, I'm watching this and it's like I made it, but I'm like, wait, what did I do with that area? Did I do something? Or did I not? I cannot remember, clearly. Ah, you saw my amazing stairs. These stairs, they are, I love this idea. And we've already gone past it because everything moves so quickly. It's crazy. So the 3 stairs here, you've kind of gotten so they lead one way, 2 the other way, and I have made it into like a little area for an office. That's the word. So from there, there was a picture of stairs basically that I found, and it was like lots of stairs that sort of curled around and went up like a full 4 floors or something like this. I'm not entirely sure if what I'm saying is right, but I'm just going to pretend that I know what I'm saying is right. Oh, anyway, I just love the idea of having all these stairs that kind of led obviously somewhere, but nowhere amazing, nowhere fantastic. So it's like, well, I can't have the Sims and just leave an empty room. And there's got to be a reason for my Sims to want to go up there. So we turned it into an office. So from here, there's lots of general sort of add-in rooms. We've got like a game sort of area, a living room, lots of bedrooms. Luckily, not 40 bedrooms. That really would have driven me a little bit cray-cray. The kitchen here. As I said, with all of this, I have absolutely no clue where they are actually meant to go. So it's all guesswork. Anyway, as you enjoy this lovely interior until I start chatting your ear off again, I am going to tell you some awesome facts. So if you're a gamer like me, you love enjoying your games, and no matter what, I love Sims, I love other games. I've spoke about this lots probably, so I will not chat your ear off too much, although it's probably a little bit too late. So anyway, any lovers of Fallout 4? So with Fallout 4, there is the Nuka World expansion, add-on, whatever you want to call it. And basically it features a build and area, a mystery house, let's say, which is taken off. Oh, I don't know what I'm saying. Okay guys, I'm gonna start again. Nuka World is an expansion in Fallout 4, and it features a tourist attraction of a place called Winchester Mystery Mansion. Got it out in one. So anyway, this is obviously what I'm trying to get at, is that this is based on Winchester Mystery House / Mansion, because now I'm confused as to which one to use again. So that is based on this, and it also features a similar sort of storyline with the hauntings, and it kind of features rooms that lead nowhere, stairs that go to nowhere as well. I didn't mean rooms. I know what I'm saying. I promise. One day, when I do a video and don't make a million mistakes, then that'll be it. That'll be my last video. There'll be nothing to laugh at and to cheer on anymore. Okay, so I believe I got that fact out right. Not entirely sure, confusing myself as per usual. So with this room, you can see I kind of turned it into like a little tea room. What I done with these rooms, as per usual, I've got the kitchen, etc., but there's a couple of other kitchen type areas, which one is there because it has like the coffee, etc. Not the coffee. What is wrong with me? I'm at the point where I should probably be banging my head against a wall. So that is a tea room. It has the tea. There's also another one that's like a little bakery, and then another one that is also features in like a sort of living room style area that also has the coffee machine. So this bit I kind of developed on it being a gallery, not entirely sure why, and I also cut off some stairs that lead around there as well. This does change again a little bit later. So on to another fact, because I am confusing myself as per usual. So apparently, if I say so one more time, I may actually, something bad will happen, guys. Something really bad will happen. Oh no, this bit is awesome. Okay, this room is, as I've already said, it's a little alcove. Only the pets can get in there, so I kind of wanted to hide some treasure and everything and kind of make it a little bit sort of like, wait, I want to get in there, but I can't. Obviously, you can lock the walls down, but you know, each their own. If that's what you want, go ahead. Anyway, as I was going to say, that Sarah Winchester is actually in the Guinness Book of World Records for having the longest construction on a build of 38 years. And I got that one out quite nicely. Okay, let's give it up. So, we have a seance. I do not know how to pronounce it, a seance room. So, we kind of went with the idea of using this, I can't remember what it's called, for the familiar orb thing, as sort of like a sort of glass ball effect, and then I added the different coloured sort of orbs that you can get in BB Move objects, and kind of tried to make it look like it was glowing. And the rest of this top area, which is just above the kitchen, kind of goes with that sort of style. We've got a bedroom that adds on to it, and then I've also got the sort of cauldron room for mixing potions as well. I was at that point where I'd used Realm of Magic, and I was like, well, we might as well add a cauldron. It goes perfectly in this room, so let's do that. So we're kind of like this whole little area comes up to its own set of stairs, doesn't connect anywhere else, and it's kind of out of the way in its own little space, and from there it kind of just turns into a whole sort of creepy cave room that's meant to be hidden. So this part, I believe, is the bedroom that I added, sort of in the same style, and then the other side, just going off the actual seance room, I believe I said it right that time, is where I also added the cauldron a little bit later. So, as the Winchester Mystery Mansion. So, anyway, Sarah Winchester and her friends never mentioned anything about hauntings in the house. This has just been a sort of speculation from visitors, and there has been no confirmation at all, to the point where Harry Houdini visited with the idea of debunking the whole it's haunted, and he actually left not being able to say that it was not haunted. So that's pretty awesome, and I am sorry, this video is a little bit all over the place today. I'm getting a little bit confused. If I talk for like more than 20 minutes, my brain just kind of starts to shut down. Don't know why. It's just, obviously I have a lonely life and I have no one to talk to, so talking to the computer and you guys, theoretically, in my head, that gives me solace, but my brain's just like, too many words. So before if I remember, the 1906 earthquake, the Mystery Mansion actually had 7 stories, of which quite a lot of it was severely damaged, and if you go visit today, you can actually still see some of that damage. It was created, like, it was continued to be reconstructed from this point, obviously. However, there is still damage there. I believe that's what I'm trying to say. I'm going crazy. But it was supposedly constructed from 1884 to 1922, and that's when Sarah Winchester died. The biggest mystery, obviously, of the mystery house. I feel like I should be in an episode of Scooby-Doo. Like, let's get in the mystery vehicle. Come on, Scooby-Doo. Anyway, what's the Scooby-Doo? We're coming after you. We're gonna solve that mystery. Okay, I just need to kind of give myself a minute to excuse the crazy. So, I forgot my point yet again. I do apologise. You know, it's Scooby-Doo. It just does it to me. I've never been a fan of Scooby-Doo, in all honesty. But I love Scrappy-Doo. Like, Scrappy-Dappy-Doo! That's so cute. I just love that part of it, in all honesty. I'm looking at my notes and I'm like, what? I still can't remember what I was saying. So, add in another living room. There's a few more of these to be added. I tried to put a different activity in each one of them. I have gone crazy with the whole idea of the facts, and I apologise for that. I do have them, I have them next to me, but my mind and my brain is just not coping at the moment. It just can't deal with so much information. So from here, kind of just adding lots of bedrooms on, and that's basically it. We've got a couple of rooms for like the kids where they can go and chill out. I've also got a couple of double rooms for people and children, etc. So lots and lots is going on with the interior, and yet it's also very simple concept of just, wait, if I have another living room and I add a TV, that was the idea of this, that I just make another living area, except we're adding a TV. So I've tried to make it so you have to go up certain stairs to get into certain areas of the house, so it's not all connected upstairs. I just done this to give it a little bit more interesting, to give it more interest, make it look more interesting, guys. I really do apologise. I am literally losing it today. My marbles, they have flown away. They haven't even been lost. They have flown away and they are not coming back. So anyway, so I've done it so there are certain stairs that lead to certain parts of the house that you can't get to other parts via, so everything isn't linked, so you have to go up those stairs. I added this just to add a bit more to the build that doesn't make it all connected, so you can just go up the main stairs and you'll be there. I kind of made it so, wait, you've got to walk all the way around the outside to go up these stairs to then get into this part of the house. I like the idea of having like separate sort of areas. I mean, for some builds we've got areas that are sort of separated for guests, and then you've got like your public bedrooms for the family that live there. And I kind of developed on this idea in a slightly more modern sort of concept, that it was more like lots of different houses in one. But in all honesty, some of them, you know, it can't be a full house if it doesn't have a kitchen or a living room, and you just go up and it's like a couple of bedrooms. That kind of really deviated from that idea. But, so all stairs go somewhere different is basically the point I'm trying to point out, I believe. So creating lots of bedrooms. This is still on the second floor, and as we go up, there's a sort of like a whole other area that I've added. Not added, that is there, but I've kind of created that like as one person's personal area. So they've got like their own living room, bathroom, study. It's like they've been like evicted and isolated to the top of the house. And so I made that sort of like in the top, so maybe like the master of the house is just like, no, I live here, but I want to be left alone. This is my space. So I added a little school room here. Kind of, there's only so many bedrooms a Sims need, and I must admit I went through one of my builds to try to sort out the website, and it had 16 rooms. So this build was for James J Hill House, something like that. I do apologise if it's wrong, but it had 16 bedrooms, and this was actually made completely off floor plan, so it was like perfectly done, if I do say so myself. So I mean, that's extreme for the Sims. We can only have 8 Sims unless you use certain mods, etc. But I was like, oh my gosh, that is extreme. And considering it's not even a big build like this, so this one's on a 64 by 64 lot, and then this other house with the 16 bedrooms is actually on a 30 by 40 lot. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is insane. And even though it was on the floor plan and all of these bedrooms are on the floor plan, I was kind of like, that is incredible. And in all honesty, I cannot see myself ever willingly sitting there and making so many bedrooms. So we're still continuing with the interior and the bedrooms, and kind of they're getting bigger. They're getting bigger. One because if I divided these rooms up into two, you kind of end up with one really small room and one reasonable size room. So I was kind of like, well, let's just do a gigantic room and just put everything in there. Just load it all in and hope for the best. So that's basically what I done with that room, and kind of made the little alcove area into a dressing area. And this is also the same in this room. We've got the big, very big bedroom. I was about to say something I shouldn't say then. And it kind of adds into a giant room. I think that's what I was saying. So then we come up onto this area. This goes all the way from the bottom stairs to the top. And I basically just added seats, and I added our very happy clown into that room. I'm not entirely sure if the Sims will go up there. I know that if they view the clown painting, it can turn them into the clown or something like that. I don't get a chance to do gameplay very often. But I love the idea that maybe this would entice them to go up and view this, and then they'll come like back down out of the secret stairs and be like, hey, I'm a sad clown. That's kind of how I feel like most of my life, to be honest. So we've come up into like this secret sort of compartment, I don't know what I'm saying, which I divided up into the sort of areas. I know what I'm saying, I promise. Which is like the private rooms, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And from they're all connected. You can see that where the interior roof goes in. I'm trying to think of it, but I'm just like using weird hand gestures to try and help myself. Like, think what I need to go this. Anyway, so that kind of, it's surrounded by the roof, and then it goes upstairs to the bedroom. I am sorry if I'm confusing you guys. Just ignore me and concentrate on the build. You will actually enjoy it that way. I am going a little bit crazy today. My brain is going a little bit over crazy too. So, final bit that I fell in love with. You can see there was a bell there that was in BB Move Objects. And I fell in love. I noticed there was the butler bell before I used the sort of the milk bottle tray thing. Not trays, are they? Like the metallic bottle tray thing. Yeah, see, I'm saying trays. I don't. Basically, the little milk carton things, I sized one of them up to try and make it look like a bell. Then I actually found a bell. Okay, guys. I am really, 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 really losing my voice. So, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'm sorry, I've been a little bit crazy today. This build has obviously just turned me into a little bit of a crazy person. It's an amazing build. I absolutely enjoyed building it once I got that first floor done. And I hope you all have a good day, whether it be morning or afternoon or evening, just no matter where you are in this amazing world. I hope you enjoy it. Obviously, play your Sims, enjoy building, go crazy. And guys, have a lovely day and stay awesome.